outside of flex, and I don't want to say any names, but periodically we hear reports of a bodybuilder dying at a relatively, bodybuilders dying at a
Mhm.
relatively young age in the 50s, sometimes late 40s, Um, do you think it's a problem with bodybuilding and health factors, or do you think it's just today's world is just more attention, like people like media reporting it more, so it
It's
becomes a
just, yeah,
problem?
it's just the bad attention, attention that bodybuilders get. How many other people die in their 30s, 40s, 20s, die of not natural causes? So why, we don't talk about that. We talk about bodybuilders. And how many bodybuilders really died? If you think about it, in the last 10 years or 50 or 20 years, how many really died at, not at, natural causes? I mean, there's not that many. I mean, it's sad to see guys like Dallas go at 20 something years old. You know what I mean? But if you look at it, it's not like they're all just falling apart and everybody's just dying left and right. That's not happening. So of course, I mean, it's just because bodybuilders do take steroids, and if something happens, yes, steroid related. It's just like right now, everybody that's dying is dying off of COVID, but there's no proof. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people, there's a lot of people that just said COVID just because he died. They're not even checking what the reason was, or if he had COVID, they just write down COVID. Same thing. So it's yeah. I think they make it worse than it really is. Is it safe? No. But is it safe to drive a car? Is it safe to smoke cigarettes? So at the end of the day, everybody who has lung cancer, can we say he's a smoker? No, I know people. My cousin had lung cancer. He doesn't even smoke.
Oh yeah, it happens. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So what do we accuse him of? You know what I mean? So it's easy to point fingers, but at the end of the day, everybody's responsible for himself. You know what I mean? We don't want to cry. And just now, I mean, it hits home when it's somebody close to you, of course. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I mean, you have no guarantee that you're going to live forever. Doesn't matter what you do.
Of course, no, there's no question about
You
it.
know.
But do you think, since we're on the subject matter about substances, do you feel we're working on a project right now? It's covering on natural bodybuilding, right? Because for many
Mhm.
years we've been getting a lot of emails and letters and people saying why Generation Iron is not promoting the drug-free organizations or like just natural bodybuilding in general, right?
Mhm.
So we started getting more into it and kind of getting into the understanding what that actually is, because I had no idea what that was.
Mhm.
But do you think natural bodybuilding can be a good thing and should be promoted actually more?
It should be promoted as much as possible. It's just the problem is that I'm not saying all, but most natural shows are not really natural. So, how many people claim natural on YouTube and only to find out that they're really not that natural. You know what I mean? So it's a matter of you got to believe a person. I personally believe natural, but you can go far natural. I had a client, Robert Timms, lifetime natural, cancer survivor,
Yeah,
never
I know
touched.
him. I know Robert. Yeah.
Yeah, I brought him up. What started as physique? I said classic. When classic physique started, I said, listen, now this is your category. He won every show, got his pro card, won and qualified for the Olympia. He did 2 or 3 Olympics natural. You know what I mean? So yes, it's absolutely possible. Your genetics play a major role. If you want to get to that category, natural, you got to have crazy genetics. Absolutely, like no other. But I like natural shows when they're really natural because then everybody has you know the same advantages. You know what I mean? But if you do natural shows where they don't really test, they just say they test everyone. So you know what I mean? And then what they do is they do random tests, pick random guys, do lie detector tests. You know what I mean? Then you look at stage, you see guys where you can say, listen, I'll lose my leg if this guy is natural. You know what I mean? Because you can see certain things. But then again, I have to admit that when you look at Robert Timms, people don't believe him either. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I think national bodybuilding should be promoted too. Absolutely, it's just very hard to believe. And it's mostly the guys that use steroids that don't even compete. That think you take steroids, you're going to look like us back in the days. And if you don't get there, then they are the ones saying, if I would use as much as he's using, I would look like him. You know what I mean? If you see somebody natural that's twice as big as this guy, then he's going to say, oh, yeah, he's not natural. That's the problem.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point, and we definitely explore that in a new project because can people cheat the drug test? Let's say, can you cheat? You
Oh,
know what I
yeah, you
mean?
can cheat any drug test. Of course, absolutely.
And substances don't show up even in a urine test, from what I hear. So it really becomes very
Absolutely, you can cheat.
speculative. You know what I'm saying?
You can cheat almost any drug test if you know it's coming.
Right, 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 right.
If you know the test is coming, you can cheat it. Absolutely.
And that's a good point.
There's ways.
Yeah,
There's
that's
ways.
a good point for sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
It's the same way when they did the diuretic test for us. They did the diuretic test, so they put. Let's say there's 20 different diuretics out there. They put 15 on the list, 5 are not on the list. What is that telling you? Hey guys, here. How you gonna put, if you want a diet test, why don't you put them all on the list? Why would you let the strongest ones, some of the strongest ones, not on the list?
Are diuretics very dangerous? Because I was talking to somebody recently on a record, and it told me actually it's you can die from it. Like it's just dangerous.
Oh yeah,
from
you
depletion.
diuretics. Yeah, you can literally make your heart stop. This could happen. Yeah, if you dehydrate yourself, you don't even have to use diuretics. Try not to drink for 3-4 days. See what happens. So diuretics will just help you just speed it up a little bit. You know what I mean? That's why back in the days, people thought you don't drink and take diuretics on top of that. So now people at least they're more advanced and they know you take diuretics, but you still drink. So you still got to have some amount of fluid just to keep just stay alive.
Shouldn't, logically speaking, the quality of bodybuilders should be much better now than in the 90s or early 2000s because there's so much more advanced science, there's knowledge, right? Like you have way more knowledge now that you had when you first started, right? So you can pass that on to your clients, whatever. Shouldn't the bodybuilding quality of it should be so much better?
But it's depending on the trend. You know who could change it? You know who could change this right now to put it where it should be or where they really want it to be? The judges. The judges have power. They have the control to change, to tell the guys what they want to see. If the judges would do a seminar, a judges meeting today and say, listen, guys, this is an example, okay? And I'm not knocking on the judges. They're doing a great job because they're judging what they're seeing. So, but if the judges, if the judges would say today, let's say there would be a press release, all competitors IFBB Pro League. From now on, we'd be looking at condition. We're not happy with the condition that we're seeing on a lot of athletes. Don't point them out. So we would like to see, guys come in more conditioned. That would help. Now guys would start, busting ass for condition again. How many guys are doing 2 hours of cardio nowadays? That was almost normal back then.
Wow, 2 hours of cardio every day.
An hour at night.
Wow.
I was doing 2 hours of cardio. That was normal. This is 2 hours a day where you're going to do your cardio regardless if you train or not. And then you do 2 training sessions. That was in the gym 4 times.
That's crazy. That's a lot of time.
Yeah, but that makes a difference. You know what I mean? So you do an amount of cardio, and then and then you diet harder. You do lower carbs and stuff. There's so many things that are not as intense today because I work with a lot of guys, and I don't even have anybody on 2 hours of cardio because you don't have to go for that standard. You don't have to go for that super because these guys are all about the same level. You know what I mean? If the top 6 guys would be completely shredded and you never make the top 6, you'll know what the reason is. But if you could be 3rd or 2nd and not even be on, why should you kill yourself?